Hello and welcome to Wrestling in Mom's Basement. This is going to be Joe's Punishment Review, which happens also to be our save pay-per-view for this weekend. As Bash the Beach of 2000 from WCW, I have Chris Patrick Young. This gentleman to my right is my co-host, the aforementioned Joe Venuto.
You don't know what happened on the show. When I get to that point, I have to veer off the review. I have to write about what I wrote on that part of the show instead of saving for this weekend. Since I'm doing this show too. How do I give you my full story here?
Well, just think about it. We don't have to review it during the
Good
save
night.
video. Good night. See you this weekend.
This is over to you.
Yeah.
Bash at Beach 2000 took place on July 9th, 2000, from the Ocean Center in Daytona Beach, Florida, which I think all of them did. Attendance 6,572. Commentators Tony Schiavone, Scott Huss, and Mark Ryan. April has nice speech for WCW 2000 and Nova Russo and Lord Bischoff. To screw things up. Tonight we're back to always, because this wrestling storytelling stuff must be short at all costs. It's a double main event.
I thought they were back together for a couple months.
Yeah, but then Bischoff left. Remember.
That's right. He was off for like a week or so.
Yeah, and Russo was in charge.
Yeah.
I think it was. Or Russo left. On a mountain break for a few weeks.
Well, going by the podcast, I think both of them were off because Bischoff took like that week off, or like 4th of July week off, and I think he said his father also passed away, like right around that time.
Yeah.
And Russo couldn't take any more that he wasn't in control, and that Bischoff wanted to change all of the stories.
Gotcha.
So he quit, and then they ended up talking him back in.
Yeah, it's a double main event.
Going by the Dark Side of the Ring and the podcast I've listened to. Trying to understand this whole thing.
It's the double main event of Goldberg versus Kevin Nash for Scott Hall's contract. And Hulk Hogan versus Jeff Jarrett for the world title and one of the better matches in life. Let's get to it. Cat sent.
You think that's a joke? Watch.
When we start with the Cat sending Smooth the limo driver to tell the Filthy Animals and the Misfits Axis that they're banned from ringside during the Cruiserweight title match. The Young Dragon show up and attack Cat, likely trying to get more money. See, this is the kind of idea that doesn't need to be here, but makes so much more sense if you try to watch the context of Watch It Thunder. Unfortunately, WCW doesn't explain any of it. Thinking that everyone saw that one-off segment sent out. The opening video is just stills of the 4 men in the 2 main events, no narration or anything, but it does have shots of Jerry with Fat Woman. We get Ray Lane Pyro as Penzer's in the shirt. Cruiserweight title, Juventud Guerrero versus Lieutenant Loco. Loco is defending as Chavo Guerrero, but Juvi sold a belt on Thunder. Cody tells Juvi title wants Disco and Ray going to the tag team titles. The second's all set out, but the Animals stick around for a bit. Instead, Tony says the bell has sounded in the sports entertainment opening bell. Loco clotheslines into the 4 stars already time to stall. Madden tries to figure out Guerrero blows up the dragon, so Scott, who seems to actually watch Thunder, explains the story. Mark has nothing response to make this a quick production meeting for him. Back at Juvi fires off some right hands with the stick down their armbar. Loco's wrestling a much slower pace style here, which is normally the heel Cruiserweight champion style. But he's the babyface. Juvi blocks charge on an elbow by a double cross body plus broken him down. Back up again, Chavo sets him to the floor for a big planche. We got the Filthy Animals and Max because we're on a Russo show. And 2 talented guys wrestling on board the fans and make them change the channel from a pay-per-view they already bought. The Animals are taking it back as Juvi drops a slingshot leg drop to the floor. Dykeman not breaking his tailbone like Giant Bull did. And back in springboard slash kiss 2 for Juvi and his Sunset Liar Bomb is the same Q general erection as Bill Clinton. Just go with it. Has a distraction for Major Guns to come down, now with the thong sticking out because Lee was doing it all the time, and we get Juvi's attention. The point mostly works is Loco grabs a sail reverse corebuster called reverse power slam by Hudson for 2, and Loco's tornado DT retains the title a few seconds later. This is one of Russo's big problems summed up in the one match. You had 2 talented guys who could put on a match that people want to see. But instead, here's a wacky idea of the 2 teams that throw one match on, and the story development that does be a thing. Yeah, Rickshaw was dressed like Bill Clinton. How's that funny, interesting, good no worth or anything besides something else to take the focus on the match? It's a simple case of Russo doesn't get it. This isn't on Hoovy or Travo, but D. The cat imitates Chris Tucker from Rush Hour as he tries to tell the young dragon says over. Jarrett comes in and asks where Hogan is because his fat Viking woman is ready to sing. Total TV scene. Hogan isn't here yet either, and Jarrett's clearly learning the replica title, by the way. There's the big black outline. So, hardcore title, Big Via versus Lawrence Smiley and Ralphus.
Also, the real WCW title has a bend at the top.
Right.
Because Hogan, it kept on Hogan his ribs, so he bent it, and that's just the way it stayed for years.
Yes. Hardcore title, Big Via versus Lawrence Smiley and Ralphus. No, I think it's just really Ralphus. I think Lawrence Smiley just happens to be disinvolved because it's a hardcore title.
I thought it was.
What's the name?
I think it's Norman actually in the match.
Oh, well, either
I
way.
think.
Either way. Via's defending this on match with Mystery Challenger. She's turning split at the match just starting the back and then come to the ring. They sound a lot like Rams. Via hammers one with the stick on Ralph as this is Norman embarrassed me to go backstage, so now I guess they can fight back in the ring so the match to end in the ring. Ralph is gets some trash can shots in the head from World Wide Baby's first offense in history. Some trash can lid shots, you have to mix up. Trash can lid, trash can. It had no effect on Via, so it's time for the plastic dinner where to come into play. Norman's thrown into the service elevator, leaving Via to beat Ralphus back to the ring. That means his table time is broken before it's even thrown in. Via splashed him over anyway, where he takes the title as Norman comes back, only to be a hardcore loser all over again. Well, thank goodness this got pay-per-view time. Norman, one of the more popular acts for the company, for a few months. It's still right where he was before, and the heatless Via keeps the title long over no one challenged him. Bam actually shows respect, but keep the stuff on Thunder where it belongs, if you just have to do it F. Goldberg arrives with Hull's contract in his pocket. Nash said he hasn't been nice lately, and tonight he's getting his friend back. We recap Daphne versus Miss Hancock, which is actually one of the better stories around at the moment.
This match. This match.
David Flair and Daphne were engaged, but he cheated on her with Miss Hancock, who was his real-life girlfriend at the time. Daphne had her head shaved earlier this week, so tonight it's a Wayne Gal match for no apparent reason other than to have Hancock in limited clothing. Miss Hancock versus Daphne is a wedding cake at ringside, and announcers announce that's going to be destroyed. David is here with Hancock, and they kiss before a match to drive Daphne crazier. Back is Flair low blow, and we start fast. Hopefully that is fast as well. Hancock does the handspring elbows are fighting in slow motion. Daphne keeps flipping her for obscure shots, but David prevents Hancock from going to the cake. The referee just hit low on pants with Tony pointing out how fast Hancock can get his pants off. David gets the same treatment. We get the face first fold to the crotch. They go into Daphne's chair where Crowbar makes a save. Crowbar takes no pants off and gives David the mind bender. Tony has forgotten the name from 4 days ago. As the woman disappeared, David's about to get his head shaved, so Hancock strips down to save her and end the match. I'm sure this was no way in shape or form inspired by Patterson and Briscoe having an even gal match like that. I did the idea here. I'm not going to complain about Stacy in limited clothing.
Why did the referee have his shirt tucked into his underwear?
I have no idea. But this is only about 10 seconds. And that stops me fire taking asking myself what the heck I'm watching. That happened way too often in WCW around this time, and it becomes much more embarrassing to entertain. This is the lowest common denominator, and it's really quality television. But yes, somehow I enjoyed more than the hardcore match did. Should be getting the same grade as Chavo and Hoovy, but yet here we are.
Yeah, by the way, that cake went everywhere, and they did not know how to clean it up.
Oh no. Crowbar and the referee sit down to wash, but it's cake time to say. The Dragon sneak up on Cat, then he's tipped off by the Japanese music playing. Cat is worried that Hogan hasn't arrived yet, and thinks Ox Baker might be available. The announcers talk about Hogan not being here as we clean up the ring from Russo's Ladies Fantasy fulfillment. The ring looks very dirty as they go over Hogan bringing in Shaquille O'Neal back in 1994. And then the formation NWO. We see the match be picked up as the crew pours bottles of water onto the ground and wrap it up. They can't afford a mop!
They tried to use the mop, but they didn't have, like, the mop buckets where they could, like, rinse it off, then swab, rinse it off. So they just took bottles of water like this and just Report on the floor.
Tag team titles: Perfect Event versus Chronic. Perfect Event is defendant, even though Brian Adams and production guy pinned them on Thunder. But now Adams has Clark back. Adams and Palumbo, according to Tony. Get things going. And his spot. And his Chuck Huckabee's friend of four. Stasiak is thrown top as well, which manifests like throwing a frisbee. Mark Pratt has a friend of frisbee, has he? And throwing Shawn Stasiak to throw in a frisbee.
I don't think he gets much physical activity done.
Now the champs have cake on their trunks because WCW can't even destroy cake properly. Clark beats Stasiak up and gets their release rock bomb before bringing Adams back in. Tony wants to know if Chronic will be happy with a simple win. Does anybody remember what our issues at this point or how the champs got the titles in the first place? Barry, that doesn't matter. Palumbo, Low versus Absent Form, and just said Churchill take over. We hit Sleeper as the fans are behind Chronic. That's not boring enough. So he's open to Stasiak for a Sleeper of his own. Back up in the hit heads, allegedly. Set up the tag to Clark as over and breaks down. Palumbo did his way out of the meltdown and Stasiak closes on his Clark on the apron. Clark gets double team back inside and we get a really awkward exchange where he looks at the champs and to say, okay, it's your spot now. Yeah, Brian Clark and Brian Barras is the clear ring general in this match. Adams breaks a cover off a double flop jack at F5 showing up high times. There's a rumble that sounds like a motorcycle, but that doesn't lead anywhere. I just thought I was just leaving the arena on their bike. Or probably fans leaving this board show. Palumbo takes high times as well, and a powerbomb top rope clothesline combination. Better move than the double choke slam. Get Chronic the belt backs. There's smoke around, and then a smoke source. They're getting a smoke source surrounding the ring for no apparent reason. Not the worst match on the show, but it was still the same boring match that Perfect Event had been having for weeks at that point in months. At least Chronic is a more interesting team. Yes, who can have a watchable power match. Perfect Event was just flat out boring and unable to drop the belts, even though they only held them for about a few weeks. The cat hears the Dragon's music again when Jarrett comes in again claiming he's bored. Jarrett promises to screw with the show leaves, allowing the Dragons to appear and attack Cat. Scott has to display the sword to man again. Booker T versus Positively's Canyon. Tony closes the 6th match because this show is built as abilities to count. Booker headlocks with a start and scores with a spin and kicks the face. Some elbows and a drop kick for Canyon down again, and there goes Canyon's shirt. Booker finds a brick in the book though. Canyon didn't see that. See that has been removed. Yeah, brick in DDP's book. Canyon says about that floor for a whip and puts Booker into the barricade. That's enough for the wrestle, so Canyon crushes Booker's arm under the steps and baseball slides Booker's ribs into the post. The apron suplex gets 2, and Canyon wedges the chair in the corner for later. Canyon puts on a reverse Boston Crab, but is quickly pushed into a roll for 2. That means it's time for the books in the head for 2 more because it's a brick. Naturally, pick up a book or a book with a brick inside feels exactly the same, and Canyon just didn't notice. Booker pops up with the kicks for 2 each, followed by the bookend for a non-near fall. This brings out Jeff Jarrett with the guitar, he was blue, remember, to knock Booker out and set up a middle rope Canyon cover for the pin. In my match that night. Match was fine until the TV ending. Canyon's offense really was different enough to make you pay attention, and it was cool to see when it made match, but assuming WWE knows what's coming tonight, then I think there's questionable best. Still the best match on the show by about a mile. But Mike Olson's hitting on the overweight Viking chick when Pamela comes in and asks about Scott Steiner. Olson promises a win and insults Pamela before leaving. U.S. title Mike Olson versus Scott Steiner.
Oh, it's the makings of a fat chick thriller.
Steiner's is defending and dives on the Olson, who likes Steiner's in black trunks with red lettering, but gets sent to the crowd for a dive on the barricade. Olson gets in a trash can shot but takes back the ring so Steiner in control. They get inside for the first time for a belly-to-belly superplex to get Scott the near fall. Steiner stays on the back, but Olson takes her right back to the floor for a chair shot of ribs. A belt to the head means it's time to look at a fan hold up a sign that Olson smell it. More chair shots, some a slingshot splash or 2, and here's the cat for no apparent reason. Steiner fights back and loads up the recliner, but Cat reminds us that's illegal. The distraction allows Olson control for the Alabama slam, followed by the Olson splash for a scene. There goes the referee, so Cat comes in and super kicks Olson on the stage. Steiner's belly to belly sets up the recliner, so Cat strips him with a title closer to the DQ. Scott Rowe doesn't see the clear, and announces no idea if Olson was shaking or not. Now, what I am going to say here is, this match was actually working. for a power match. Stupid ending aside. Unfortunately, stupid ending aside is also the end of the match. So also doesn't seem to get the title. He won. Steiner doesn't care. And Cat is apparently only a heel when he's dealing with Steiner. This is more wasted a US title because Steiner clearly doesn't care about after spending months building domination as champion. The title has been worthless for years at this point, but this made it even worse. Given a C though, this almost could have been a match tonight, but you know. Rusev. Steiner beats also up at Celebrate anyway. Vampiro versus the Demon. Now the show's starting to pick up steam. We were hitting C's. This is in Graveyard.
F. I'm sorry.
Or maybe a big graveyard set. Would you put past WCW and Red One for something this big? and you win by getting back to the arena first. No matter how far the graveyard is from the arena, so this actually require a bus trip from like Missouri. Assuming the graveyard is in the same city as the arena, would you really put past WCW to have it somewhere else? There's always a chance that the wrestlers will get lost on the streets of Daytona Beach. Vampiro dives out of a tree to attack these. Vampiro dives out of a tree to attack the Demon. And now we have no light. That super kick puts Demon down, and Vampiro clearly on the microphone tells Demon to join him. Asia kicks Vampiro in the back, and they fight into an open grave for a bit. You can barely see anything here, and Vampiro chases Asia off. Demon gets out of the grave, and the match has become a foot race. Vampiro then throws him in the water, and Asia is rocking back and forth. She gets dragged off again until Demon gets out of the water, as Tony brings up the fact that they have no idea where the graveyard is. Demon finds Asia next to a coffin, but Vampiro pops out and sprays mist in his face. Vampiro says join him or die, but Demon says no, only to get hit in the head with a tombstone and knocked into the coffin. Vampiro leaves and we cut to an interview, so screw the rules for the match. I'm not reading this because this had nothing to do with wrestling. This was a scene out of some weird horror movie that Russo probably sold back in 1993 and decided to recreate it on his show. I mean, what's there to say about this? They were fighting in a graveyard, then in a pond, then that one guy got knocked into a grave. I can't believe I'm saying this, but the evening gown match had way more value than this did. Total waste of time, much like everything else Vampiro does. And that, fuck that, Shane Douglas promises to beat Buff Bagwell tonight. You can win.
Oh god.
You can win a sweepstakes and become Goldberg's manager. I've heard worse ideas.
Yep.
Shane Douglas versus Buff Bagwell. I don't think most fans remember why they're fighting in the first place. Though Hustle doesn't at least explain it. Buff starts a franchise sucks chant and is already doing more than most people in the show get the face of here. Oftentimes, some of his siblings telling them to chase something. The fans are being part of the show, which is where you can say for the majority of wrestlers, so I'm done. The fight quickly heads to outside of Shane being sent to embarrass him and coming back with probably a low blow. The match will peel back, but Shane can't pull the pile driver. Buff kicks him in the ribs, only though Shane punched the cheer in his face. They head inside for a crank on Bagwell's still bait neck. But here's a return. Tori Wilson slaps Shane. She's going to turn Bagwell in, I'll say 2 minutes or less. Tori stays on the apron as Bagwell makes his comeback before going to kick him loud. They didn't even make that minute. The Pittsburgh points gives Shane 2, and Tori breaks up the blockbuster, allows Shane to debut a franchiser, a lame jawbreaker, for the pin with Tyson Courts because Shane is a heel. The match is boring, that the swerve was most predictable a long time, which is covering a lot in WCW terms, but Tori looked better than usual, which is also covering a lot. As always, good to see Bagwell take a beating for some reason. Bad match, but Tori's a better valet than 10 or Sunday at this point. So anyway, Shane and Tori kiss some more. Hogan has finally arrived. Jarrett says he has allies signed. Quick recap of Jarrett and the Fat Viking Woman. It still makes no sense, it goes way too far for the sake of a joke. WCW World Title, Hulk Hogan versus Jeff Jarrett. Hogan is challenging. There's no Jarrett first, so here's Vince Russo. Jarrett comes out and says Hogan and make it look like we're ready to go. Jarrett's still on the stage show. I have a bad feeling this is ending well. The bell rings and Jarrett lays down because screw you, Russo. Hogan says this is why WCW's in the place he's in, and covers Jarrett for the pin and that title, and one of the better matches of the night. If anyone did this within 3 minutes, let's see. Because they didn't botch nothing. We'll be coming back to this later now, so I'll go into it and other stuff. The announcers told me I had this couldn't have been one was scripted. It was always make my head hurt so badly. Enough to simply use a random mouse reasons. And now Vampiro's back. So the match is officially done. The graveyard match. Put in about 30 minutes long.
Oh, and the last time you see Hulk Hogan is literally Vampiro walking by while Hogan's walking out of the building.
Yes. So this match, the graveyard match is about 30 minutes. Vampiro says the Dark Circle is down complete and Dale Torberg is gone. 2 8 guys in Sting masks carrying a coffin. Someone who might be Sting, but clearly isn't due to the hero life, jumps out and beats Vampiro with the bat before throwing him into the coffin. That will be another story I never want to think about again. Goldberg is trying really hard to not rebut the contract. This is about a week and a half after the 8th thing. So this speech is kind of hard to buy. Here's Russo. Oh, okay, let me get my rank right. Hold on, my notes out there. Well, alright. Here's Russo, who's booed out of the building, not likely because of what his character did, because of his being switched to just book. Russo told us about leaving 3 weeks ago, but the fans...
Yeah.
But fans were being said before he could get anywhere. He didn't know if he was going to come back because of all the politics backstage. Remember that he debuted like a WCW roughly like 8 months before this? And only returned 3 months earlier. Based on the way he talked, you would think he had been dealing with it for like 20 years. Russo came back for all the boys in the locker room like Booker T. David and military gimmick that wasn't going anywhere. Everyone at MIA given another lame military gimmick based around 6 puns that Major Guns take off the top. Oh, and Pops. Don't forget Pops. Generation's dad.
Yeah.
For the Filthy Animals, spin their wheels from us. And for Jarrett, no explanation needed on that. So he hears that then. Just I don't think they're anything important. None of the old guys like Hogan care about this place because he's just a politician. Hogan won the place quick control card type. He gets to win the world title. That's the last time you ever see Hogan in WCW. It truly was. But no one's going to home disappoint tonight. Oh, I got that. Tonight there's going to be a new WCW world title, which still belongs to Jarrett as far as Russo's concerned. Russo says Jarrett's one of the only people who come out here and work hard where you love him or hate him. True. Jarrett gets a lot of flack, but he's one of the few main veterans who does seem to work hard every single week. He's a late world champion, but undoubtedly a talented guy. Tonight Jarrett's defending against someone who's been fighting for his spot in WCW for 14 years. Booker has only been wrestling for 11 years at this point, and debuted in WCW in 1993. So we can have massive things that Russo's hard line. Russo promises that Booker and Jeff will tear the house down tonight and leaves. Okay, where do I start with this? Oh, I know there. First of all, there have been a ton of explanations for what happened here, but the most common I hear is most of it will work by turning to the semi-shoot. Hogan was allegedly scheduled to come back in roughly 3 months to sign with Bischoff, and guess Russo's new champion, and lead to the big match line after his interest idea in the world, but I can go with that. That brings us to Russo's shoot, which was supposed to stop Hogan leaving before he came back. Allegedly, Russo went too far, and Hogan kept taking over, resulting in him staying at home. Therefore, Hogan's gone. That's the end of Hogan WCW. He tries to sue them, but that's a whole other story. Russo gets to look like a hero to find a way to get rid of Hogan and put him Booker in the title picture. There's likely a wrong detail or two in there, but that's the best I can figure out. Here's all of his stuff working for me, not the story of it, but on why it is bad idea. It's all about Russo. Why do people remember about this? Russo's shoot. Who's supposed to come out like a hero in the weeks and months on being the star of the show? Russo. The world champion comes and shows Jet Jarrett. He looks at the biggest sacred full of history, as he was mentioned in the same breath as Misfits in action during their speech. Yeah, and in all this chaos, Vince Russo is the one that comes off looking good. No matter what happens in his company, you can count on Russo being a star because he builds the whole thing around him. Whether it's hang on to the figure 4 for over a minute and completely defeating Ric Flair, or get rid of the horrible Hulk Hogan. Russo's the big star in the whole thing, and it's not going to help any of the problems. I know Russo.
Well, to be fair, that's literally, well, not even to be fair, that's literally what mostly Russo does. It's usually to make himself look good.
Right.
And it's everybody else's fault. Standards and practices. Eric Bischoff keeps on changing the storylines. Hulk Hogan won't let him do what he wants to do. Stuff like that.
Excuse me, sidebar real minute. I just see that this promo is where Bray Wyatt got the idea.
Oh, really?
For the rocket chair.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, fully said on Facebook. Huh. Twitter. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So another result work is not of it. I'm not gonna say sensitive things. Common questions by harassing the crowd during immediate speech was creative control. backstage politics. What is he talking about? The story's about confusion. How many years? 23 years later. A lot of details there. And for the live phase, they just sold the world championship pin angle that they sold 9 months earlier. I think how we have it. Big angle or not is bait and switch. Booker T getting the shot is cool, but that's not what the face page is saying. There are probably a lot of people of the 6,000 in the arena who wanted to see Hogan in the ring, and then they got rid of both. I know it's probably better long term, or at least it would have been 2 or 3 years prior. But if Hogan was advertised, they should have to do the match somehow instead of Jet case, where people are going to say they're supposed to making this up as it goes, and it switches to go sense while changing the channel to see what The Rock and Triple H are doing that week. Overall, it's an all bad idea, and we'll listen to from Russo as usual as a big angle over a big match. And the old guys, Edward Russo, the ones who look good at the end of the day. The fans don't want to see whatever insane angle they go on here because that's all they signed up for. Maybe this much is a standalone angle at a different time. But those say have almost any credibility at this point. And another big shoot angle was the worst thing they could have done here. I'm sure we'll hear more about it on Nitro the next time, but this really doesn't hold up on its own. The announcers are stunned, by the way. Now go back to the show. We recap Goldberg versus Kevin Nash, which is Scott Hall's contract. Goldberg 80 at one point. We just showed him the recap video. But hi again the next week. It made as much sense as anything else at this point. Goldberg hates the outsiders for whatever reason and is trying to kill them once for all. Scott Hall says he's too busy.
I mean, it makes sense. They're the guys that ended his undefeated streak. It would be nice if they explained it, but it could make sense.
Scott Hall says he's too busy to have Nash's back. Just turn him now. Kevin Nash versus Goldberg. The contract's all.
Did you say Scott Hall was?
Scott Steiner.
Scott Steiner.
Contract's all crumbled up and to be perfect the last time he sold. Goldberg slows him down court, just to a suplex. A super kick is the same, but Nash comes back with a choke set to his own. Hugh Steiner and Deja to play cheerleader. Nash stops the charge on a boot and stops the spear, meaning time to take down the straps. Steiner comes in to turn on Nash, allowing the spear and jackhammer and put Nash away in less than 6 minutes. Another lame match.
Wow, if Starrcade 98 ended like that, that'd be a much different story.
Another lame match. They had way too much build up because Nash can't deliver on the check his mouth race. Steiner turned Nash was obviously the second in the ring because in Russo's world, you expect to swerve instead of be surprised by it. They could do the epic style a year and a half ago, and no one for they could F. Goldberg takes the contract up and Steiner puts Nash in. Booker says he's right. The Nash pre the event with Manning saying Jarrett's the kind of guy that Hogan held down. Yeah, the 4-time world champion was all that. There's a world title, Booker Jeff Jarrett. Jarrett's defending the audition considered titles vacant as well. I know Russo's world screwy, but champion did pin and title match with the title change in some way to me. Jarrett's using cuss off Buffer's big introduction for Booker. The title's back at the top again. That's clearly the original belt. They fight over hell at the start, and there are a lot of empty seats for this one. Booker says about the force, and now she's talking about the formation and the new blood leading to this. Back in, and sidekick has Jeff in more trouble, and they fight into the ground custom time. Jeff gets sent into a wall because back with a chair shot ringside. Jeff apologizes on the table, which doesn't break. Scott, they finally got the construction right on this thing. Just now. We hit the chill out the celebrities down to where Jeff starts in on the leg. The figure four is Booker in trouble, but he turns everyone out too much trouble. A cannonball misses Booker's leg, and there are any more of these seats down. Booker's spinebuster is too, but he misses the sidekick and hits the ropes. The referee goes down, and Jeff misses a belt shot without Booker nailed Jeff for a close two. Some hero. Jeff puts a chair in the corner where he can send into the head first for 2 more. Jeff beats up the referee and gives him a stroke without relieving his feet. But the top rope guitar shot is calling the book in to give Booker the pin and title to a legitimately strong reaction. Both of them people still here. Well, they did turn the house down, but they did have a good match. Booker won the title was about a year too late, but it's cool to see someone young, 35 at this point, get the title for a change. I certainly can't see the show because it's taking a big backseat to the big story. Booker's a better option than Jeff is far more likable. But it's just too late to do much good. And afterwards, we get a celebration for Booker. Yeah, so that was your review. Spare us from doing that this weekend.
Yeah.
For what you're going to get, well, for what we had to fix up. I honestly tell you, I do not feel bad. It doesn't have to be done for Saturday. You don't have everything right, because this is why I legitimately say I'm putting together this weekend while you're here. This is not what I'm playing out like WrestleMania 9, because I have no idea what I'm supposed to do with this show.
I literally had extra time at work today where I just got like a quick glance of like the shows around it to see if anybody was like off the pay-per-view. And there's a few names, but I honestly don't necessarily know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. I mean, like, Rey Mysterio's not on the show, but we don't use Derek, so he'll definitely be on the show. Yeah.
I did see that Chris Harris and James Storm were in 2 separate jobber matches on WCW Worldwide.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with that, but yeah.
3 counts also available, by the way.
Right, so the Young Dragons, because they're one of the show.
Yes.
Just making sure my follower is. Yeah.
This is a very long time for him to say F.
I don't know, it's like between a D and an F, which there was some good F. But it's F. As good as Gareth Hogan. As good as that Booker champion. The long and boring perfect event match. Though I hate to put the win down match in there, wasn't an F because it was some good wrestling. But it's some decent wrestling.
Sure.
But I'm a fan of Dafty's wrestling. The station's a little better wrestling, I think it could be decent. But the Wayne Gale match, the Logan Bourne perfect event match, stuff in the graveyard, over so all the time, and all the interference really drives us down. It's certainly not the worst show though from a quality perspective for WCW. There's worse. But for every problem Russo has, it fixes. He creates like 10 more. That's the thing driving the show down at this point, and Booker's shape is nowhere near enough to fix that. If you just thought the problem here is to shoot being what people remember Russo's show, and all words to remember Russo and the shenanigans instead of Booker taking the title in, good match. Well, decent match. Longest of the night as well, clocking at 13:40. As long as I have the drama and signing WCW that can't work long term in the WWF, it's not going to here. But it's all Russo do, so that's all we're going to get. Well, that and Russo, because the show's all about him. So F for that. The 3 matches that were decent. Scott Steiner, Mike Olson, Booker T and Canyon, and Booker T and Jeff Jarrett, and Hogan and Jarrett. The 4 matches that were decent, I won't say you will have to go out of your way to see them. If you want to complete insanity, go ahead. But, go ahead for the Hogan Jarrett part, but not if I'm telling you to watch either.
I'm in the middle of watching it. I stopped about an hour left, and I had to tap out to the next day, and then other things came up, and I gotta watch the last hour of this piece of shit.
Well, you could split it in 2 days. You have to hit values. Thursday, Friday.
I'd rather get it all done.
Okay. Well, not done for this. We'll be back this weekend with our fixing this. No, we don't have to do this. Our retro review of something that might be more boring than this. Some Virus Series 2013. We'll push off next Friday.
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Nobody's clamoring for that.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. Alright, that's next week. Alright, so this weekend, the Fix It on Monday will be uploaded of this. They'll be filmed on Monday. We'll be uploaded by Tuesday. We'll definitely be uploaded by Tuesday morning. And then on Saturday, the Payback predictions are review Sunday morning. Maybe we can do Saturday night. It's probably going to be a short show. And then Sunday, All Out. And All Out predictions and All Out review. That'll probably be Monday morning because that'll probably be a long show because Tony. And then on Monday, we're fixing that. And then next Friday, Star Series 2013 and Punishment reviews next week for the weekend.
Yeah.
So. And then also sometime next week it'll be up because we're filming on Sunday, I believe.
Yeah.
Sunday, we're filming the Torn Time greatest tag teams in pro wrestling.
Yes.
History. So, if it's as controversial as the women's one, we will see. Still don't understand how Kelly didn't make the picks first round, but I digress. But
You were really pushing hard for the Kelly
yeah,
into a second round.
Randy Rose guy. So no, should be Eve. Just remember that. No, that'll be the greatest tag teams in wrestling history. But sorry for our colleagues over there. I'm just saying right now, there's a good chance that the New Japan teams will get eliminated early just because of unlimited knowledge in them. I'm not saying that to be disrespectful. I'm saying that to be fair. So, see you then.
See you then.